Like, you've known about me my entire life. I don't know what you look like. I don't know your name. I don't know where you live. I don't know anything about your family. Like, do you think that's fair? I just completely went off and I hung up. And that was it. That was the last time I spoke to him, and that was a while. It really has been a while. Like, it's, trust me, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a traumatizing experience. It's traumatic. It really is, because I go to Antigua. The thing about this little story time, it's gonna have a bunch of stories within it, because I don't have a clear thought right now when it comes to this man, because nothing makes sense at all. I went to Antigua one summer, and you know, I won't say like we hang out on the block, but it was on the block, okay? So there was a bunch of there's a mechanic shop where my uncle lives, and I've known these people most of my life, all my life, and I found out in that moment I was related to one of them. How? Because one said, "Hey, did you see Roach since you've been here?" And I was like, "No." And then one of the other men were like, "Wait, why would she see him?" Right? He's like, "Yeah, that's his daughter." They were all like, "Oh my gosh, all these years I didn't know that," and this. Yeah, like, you could hide me as a baby, but as a grown adult, how much hiding do you want? Do you get what I'm saying? Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. Like, that to me. And then he pulled up, right? This is the sad part about this. He pulled up like everything was normal. And these guys are like, this one man, I remember, I love him dearly. I remember him saying, he's like, "I don't care what my wife says, but if you see me having all these children out here, I'm gonna take care of all of them." Preach, child. It's listen, I have like so many bad memories. I don't have any good memories of this man. Like none. I have all bad memories where I just like when I think about it, right? I think when I was in Antigua at some point, he started telling me this story about his wife and my mom. They apparently went to the same hairdresser, and he said after that day, I told my mom this, after that day, his wife came home very upset because a lady came up to her and said, "I didn't know you had twins. Your twins are beautiful," right? So that just gives you an idea that I look like his daughter. You can't hide me. I look just like you. Like, what you trying to do, right? I'm beautiful, child. But you get what I'm saying? I grew up hearing like some people saying, "Oh, I called you when you were at so-and-so, but you never said nothing." I'm like, I was at home, you know? So I do think we do resemble each other. I've never seen her. I do not know what she looks like. I've never spoken to her. I do know that we are born in the same month or around the same time, but in a different year because I'm the youngest. So I think she's a year older or something like that. I don't know, child. Whatever, I don't care. But it makes me sad because Antigua's a very small place, and chances of me like being around someone who's related to me is very high, and me not know it. I went to Antigua one summer, and I walk into this fine establishment, and this young man was looking at me like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful." Thanks. And then I just, I was questioning. I'm like, "Yo, who's your family? Like, what's your last name? Where you're from? Whatever." And I was like, "Ooh." I found out in the conversation after we did some investigation that he was my cousin. Disgusting. Yo. I don't know how this story is gonna be because it's a very sad story. I remember, like, okay, so I graduated high school And I know this is all over the map, but this is how my life's been. I graduated high school and my mom called me, and I was already in Canada. My mom called me and she was like how Roach was going around talking about that's my child and that's my daughter. And I'm like, sis, when? When have you been in my life? When? How are you taking credit for something you had nothing to do with? Nothing. Good or bad, my mom shaped me and who I am. It is what it is. You had nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. Not you, not your family. Nope. You see, the thing is, right? I've also heard stories that the reason why this man wasn't in my life or his other child's life is because of his wife. Because in her pretty little world, they only have 3 children. But in his world, I'm pretty sure he has more than 5. That's my stance. I told my brother that. That's my stance. I think he has more. I think there's one more after me. I really and truly think so. I don't really care. Like, whatever. How okay. Let's just go with the fact that she didn't want him to be around his other children, right? Fine. How do you as a woman, I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you're single, but how do you as a woman do that? Yo, if you don't want to be married to the man anymore, you leave. Let the man take care of all his children. You think that that's a good look? That's really not a good look. I remember hearing stories. I remember, like, I seen her once, I think, and the look that she gave me. But yeah, you gotta understand, I don't know. At that point, I didn't know what this woman looked like. So when I realized who she was, because they told me who she was, I was already like, oh. But she already looked me up and down, sized me up, and gave me this, like, disgusted look. But I'm a child. Like, to me, that says a lot about someone's character. Like, I'm not telling anyone to take care of their husband's child. What I'm saying is, you're not supposed to stop that man from taking care of his child. Now, as it relates to him, he's a little punk. Because ain't nobody gonna stop me from taking care of my child, man or woman. I don't care. I really don't give a shit. Okay, so for me, it's like I have no respect for either one of them. I really don't give a shit. I speak to my brother. I try to maintain a relationship with my sister. She's also on the outside with me, but the thing about it is, the brother that I speak with, he's the only one that knows about us. So it's like we're still a secret. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure his daughter doesn't know. And his eldest son definitely does not know, because that man would probably hurt him. Like, okay. So it's just, I try to maintain whatever relationships I have with them. But you have to understand, like, I grew up as an only child. I'm used to my own space. I'm not used to siblings. I don't understand siblings. I don't know how y'all do it. I really don't. I don't. Listen, my best friend, she has siblings, and they're like my siblings. But I tell her all the time, praise the Lord, you're not my sibling. Because the stuff that she does is just like, oh my God, why are you doing this to me? Like, she'll be with me, like, and she'll just start flicking my skin, like, pinching me and stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, why? Like, I don't get it. I don't get the behavior. But I also don't understand the psyche of siblings, because I've never been one. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I found out about them and I got in contact with them, it was hard for me to adjust, because I'm not used to sibling rivalry. I'm not used to any of that. I'm not used to anyone saying, oh yeah, but he spoke to me and he did it. I don't care. Right? And I'm also not interested in being anyone's little secret anymore. And I think majority of my life, that's what I've been to that man and his family. I mean, I don't know if he was sick or dying, or he felt like he was dying, but then he started calling me. This is before I stopped talking to him, giving me numbers to his aunt that lives in Toronto. But I'm like, why? Why now? Right? The one time I called her, she was on the phone talking to me, and she was telling me, she's like, yeah, I've known about you all your life and whatever. I'm like, what? I'm like, you've known about me my entire life. I don't know what you look like. I don't know your name. I don't know where you live. I don't know anything about your family. Like, do you think that's fair for me to be this grown adult and you guys want me to just blend in? I can't do that. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm gonna come in and fuck shit up. Like, no, I cannot. I really can't. Like, it makes me sad thinking about it, because the amount of men in my life that are just like this man, it makes me sad, because then it also makes me realize that I've been chasing him my entire life. My last ex-boyfriend was probably like him. The one before that, definitely like him. Like, all like him. Dave, like him. Who else? Ricky, like him. Like, they're all the same guy. They're all like him. It's like I was chasing a ghost. I can't do it anymore. I really cannot. Like, I can't. Like, I feel like, sure, if you want to call me a mistake, sure. But it ain't no mistake. Listen, let me tell y'all about this man, okay? He a hoe. Yo, he's the biggest hoe I know. Okay, he really is. Like, I'm gonna tell you a story. One year, I was in Antigua, and this was when we were still in contact with each other. And he came to my uncle's house, and this young lady, she's a woman. She's older than I am, but I'm gonna call her young lady, okay? This young lady was coming home from work, and I didn't go outside yet, but I know she was coming home from work because she had her bags and stuff. So I come outside, and I'm sitting on the step, and I'm watching him talk to her. Just watching him talk to her. So I'm like, hello? Do you know that he's married? Like, with children, right? She was like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I'm his daughter. Figure it out. And then she walks off, and he's like, why would you do that? I'm like, why are you doing this? Aren't you married? Like, don't you respect your wife? You know. Honestly, I cannot. I have nothing to give. Nothing. Like, I don't even know if I make sense in this video. Like, there's so many different, like, things. Like, it makes me angry, because there was one point where I felt something was wrong with him within my soul, and I just had to call him, and I'm like, yo, are you okay? This is before we stopped speaking to each other. I'm like, are you okay? Is everything fine? Like, whatever. And he's saying that he was in the hospital for a bit and whatever, and I was like, okay, well, I hope you feel better. But the thing that I'm trying to get at is, he had means to be in my life from a child to an adult, and he did nothing. When I was home, the year we fell out, I want to say it was 2015 that we fell out. The year that we fell out, right? He came to my aunt's house, and he's like, you know, your auntie always wanted me to be around. I was like, so why didn't you? Why didn't you? This wanted you to be around, I wanted you to be around, but you were never around. So why are you telling me this? I'm 30. What is that gonna help? Like, that does nothing for me. Nothing for me. And it would just be a situation where I just, honestly, can't be honest. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I felt like his side chick. That's what I felt like. I felt like this man knew he had me. All these other people knew about me, but he has to still sneak around to come and visit me when I come to Antigua. He has to sneak around to call me when he's in Antigua. That makes no sense to me. None. Like 0 cents. Like nothing. Makes no sense to me. And I don't really care. Because here's the thing. If you question me, that's the thing. If you question if I was biologically yours, get a test. I don't care. I grew up knowing you as my Roach, and I'm gonna die knowing you as my Roach, because you did not deny that I was yours. You know, I was so mad. Like, I felt like his side chick. Case in point, I go to Antigua, okay? My uncle, who is no longer with us, God rest his soul, came to my aunt's house and said, oh, you're not gonna go and see Roach today? I was like, what? I'm like, listen, I told him straight up, his wife was in the car, my auntie, okay? I said, I called this man when I was here, okay? I said, I'm in Antigua, I would like to see you. I've been here for 2 weeks, I haven't seen him. So my uncle was like, well, he just works down the road. I'm like, so I'm supposed to walk down there to see him? Isn't he supposed to come and want to see me as his child? Like, when did the roles reverse? Because I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. Like, I don't understand this. Like, it's very heartbreaking because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has issues with a parent, right? But for me, it's really sad because when I look at it, I told him one time, I said, you know what? I feel like the relationship I have with you affects the relationship I have with other men. And this man told me I was grown. I shouldn't let it bother me. Garbage. It's not that it was bothering me. It's that I never acknowledged that he was an issue in my life. I just put some sugar on it, slapped some honey on it, molasses, anything to make it sweet, anything to make it look pretty, cover it up with icing, all that good stuff. Boom, I'm a happy person again. I can't. I really can't. I would love to, like, sit here and tell you that it doesn't bother me that this is the way this turned out, but it actually does. It did bother me. It bothered me a lot, but then when I realized that he really does not care. Like, he legit does not care. He only cares about his image and how he looks to his wife or his family or whatever. But you have children with your wife who don't even speak to each other. They don't even have a real relationship. You got what I'm saying? So it's like, you prevented something over here and it affected you over there. That's called karma, okay? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, you willfully denied anything, any relationship. You didn't want any relationship. You like, I don't know how people can do that to their children. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm terrified of having children as much as I want them. Okay, sad. Because I wouldn't want them to experience this. Oh my God. Oh, stop crying, girl. Better than this. Oh, child. Like, this is heartbreaking. Like, I don't know how anyone can have a child. I don't care what the circumstances is. I don't care if you like the mother or the father. How are you able to live with yourself knowing you have a child here, a child here, a child there, and you don't have a relationship with any one of them, and they don't know each other? That's sad. Oh, jeez. That is so sad to me. That's really sad. Like, it makes me sad because I'm terrified, because I'm like, I would want to do the best. I know my mom did the best that she could. My mom's crazy, but I love her, right?